Hello everyone, welcome to today's Odoo functional training session. So in today's session, we will be looking into project and timesheet app of Odoo 13. So hope everyone can hear my voice clearly. If you find any difficulty, please let me know. Chat option. So let us start today's session. So the agenda of today's webinar is, so mainly this session intends on creating a strong knowledge based on Odoo ERP, project and timesheet app for attendees. So in this training, we will be focusing on the project app and timesheet app. So this is mainly to literate the end users and other public with Odoo version 13 project and timesheet app. So before starting, let me give you a brief introduction about Cybrosys technologies. So Cybrosys technology is one of the leading Odoo partner, having more than a decade of experience in Odoo. We have showcased many successful projects in Odoo, that too in all major business domains. Till date, we have served 160 plus countries and holds 1000 plus satisfied customer by our side. We have our office location mainly in Calicut, London, Cochin and Bangalore. So Cybrosys offers all kind of Odoo services like implementation, customization, integration, migration, app development, training and documentation, etc. So benefit of Odoo 13, project and timesheet. So what are the benefit of Odoo 13? So as you all know that Odoo is bundled with multiple benefits like improved security and quality, cost-effective business application, which is highly flexible for customization, then integration, etc. And also as support from large community. As you have know, there is an enterprise version edition and a community edition. So for community edition, there is a large support from the largest community. So the main benefit of Odoo project and timesheet are modern user interface. So you will be getting an faster user interface designed for modern projects management, and you will be getting all information what you required in a second. That is, we have a pivot table for reporting purpose, etc. Then mobile view. So it is an Odoo is and mobile friendly, and you can using project and timesheet, you can track the project and task easily on the move. And there is an some timesheet app which the user can log their timesheet or task by using the mobile application. Then large screen view, filters and groups. So normally you will be having a search bar where you can just have multiple filters, groups. Based on your requirement, you can group the projects or group the task, etc. based on the employees, etc. So we will be looking into detail once we start on the session. Then fully customizable. So customize the process of every project. So for every project, you can set your own stages, or you can use the existing stages, or if you required, you can just rename the stages, and you can just create a alert according to your own activities, and you can automate the process through email, etc. Then usability, customized Kanban view. So we have a Kanban view in Odoo, so you can just drag and drop task easily with this Kanban view, group the task by stages, responsible persons and deadlines, etc. Change the name of the task or issue. So normally what the issue is here is the task, so task is equal to the issues. Change the remaining of the green or red status. So we have a status option there, so you can just select it to be a green or red. So we will also looking into it deeply in once we start the session. Then calendar of deadlines, so you will be getting a calendar of all the deadlines tasks. Then multi-project, you can just manage multiple project with multiple tasks and multiple stages. Subtask, so you can create subtask for a task. So if your business demands for that one, then you can use the subtask option, which is available in the settings. Then document management, for every project you can just attach the documents and other details, whatever the required docs, you can just add it there. Then Gantt chart, manage task on a timeline with the Gantt chart view, the easiest way to track deadline and timeline progress. Then graph, so normally you will be having in the reporting section graph chart to analyze the progress of all your tasks and projects. It will be based on the stages. You can group by it by responsible persons or tags what you have provided in the project, or based on the projects or clients, etc. Then pivot table analysis, so you can just design your own reports from pivot table analysis. Then time tracking, so all the times can be tracked, all the employees tasks can be tracked, etc. Then archive tags, so if there is any task which is not using in the system, that you can just archive, because it will not be possible for you to delete as there are some existing reference. So you can just archive the task, so it will not be listed whenever you select a task in the selection field. Then neat and fast. Then reporting, we have a dashboard, so you can just have multiple views there, so you can just add your own views to that dashboard. Then you can just create your own profitability report based on the cost and revenue of your project. Then task analysis, project overview. So let's start the session, today's session. So in my screen you can find the Odoo 13 instance, which I have installed Project Timesheet. So you can just install project and timesheet from apps menus. So you can install the project and timesheet. So in my case I have already installed that one. So here the project is, you can just install project alone, or if you require timesheet, then you can just install timesheet. So whenever you install the timesheet, the project will also get installed. And here you can find the employees, because employees is linked with the timesheet, so employee will be installed, and the planning. So once you have installed this one, so I'm just activating my developer mode for this training purpose or for this webinar purpose, because for editing stages, etc., you need to log into the developer mode. So for doing so, go to the settings. Once you log into the settings, go to the developer tool, then activate the developer mode. So here I have activated the developer mode. So once you have activated the developer mode, you can just find the database name here. So it will be easy for you to understand in which database you have logged in. So let's start with the project management. So this is the project app. So under project app, you can find the projects. So what are the created projects, you can find it here. Then task, then planning, then reporting, then configuration. So under configuration, you have a settings, stages, projects, tags, and activity. So let's see. So I have already created an office design and research and development. So actually it is not created by me, so it is a demo data, so which is already been filled here. So right now I am just creating a new project here. So I'm just naming it as project 1. So if you require planning for this one, you can just select this option. If not required, you can just disable this one. And if you require timesheet, you can just select this option. So in my case, I am just selecting the timesheet, create. So my project has been created. So then I need to create a task for that one. For example, here we have a task. So for each project, as I said earlier, you can just create your own stages, or you can use the existing stages. So here you have an option to create new stages. So here, if you want to create new stages, you can just add it here, or you can see the examples which Odoo have provided in the demo data. If you click on the example, how the stages for each project management method, you can find the software development. If you're selecting software development, so backlog, specification, development, test, delivered. Then agile method, backlog, analysis, development, testing, done. Then if you're having any other department not for software development, so like digital marketing or event management or something like that, then you can just use. So there are multiple templates which already been given, so you can just refer this one. So in my case, I'm just creating as new ongoing testing completed rejected. So I have created here the 5 stages. So whenever I create any task under this project 1, the task will be in the stages. It will be going through the stages. So if you want to edit any of the stages, you can just click on this button and you can just select edit stage and you can just edit on that one. So we will be discussing that later. So right now I am just creating a task for this particular project. So before starting that, let's see. So I have already created the project here. So you can find the tile here. So based on the project name, it will be showing. So if you have start that one, it will be showing in the list first. Then under this task, you can find 0 task and timesheets. So if you click on the timesheet, it will be going to the timesheet. You can just create here the timesheet for this particular project, or you can find all the existing timesheet or activities for this particular project. And likewise, you can just also find the task here. So for every project, how many tasks are available, it will be showing right now here. So you can find the office design 7 tasks and research and development 8 tasks. So if you click on this particular task, it will be showing you all the task and its stages. So you can just find the stages here. So let's create a new task for our new created project. So I'm clicking on the task. So once you have clicked, you can just find the stages which I have created earlier. So later create button, task 1. So I'm just creating a new task in the name as task 1. So here you can find the assign to. So here you can find all the employees here. So you can just assign your task to any of the employee. So in my case, Michelle admin is the user. I'm just assigning to Michelle admin for demo purpose, as this will be having a notification here. So I am just adding a new task here. So I have added that task here. So again, I need to add one more task. So I'm just adding task 2. Add task 3. Add task 4. So I have created 4 tasks here. So likewise, we have a star button here. The same option is available in the task also. So you can find all the created tasks here. So you can find the task. So if you want to add this to the first, you can just add that. You can find if you have started any of the task, it will be showing in the list first. So if there is any important task which should be completed first, you can just start that one based on your prioritize that one. So this will be shown to all users like this. So if you have assigned this to any other user, that is the employee, they will also notified as like this. So their task will be that the start task will be the first one. So later, once it is ready for the next stage, you can just select here and mark as ready for next stage. So the other, right now in my case, I have the task 1 has been completed and it is ready for the next stage. So other tasks are not ready, so I am just marking it as blocked. So it depends upon your internal process again. So you can just mark make it as a like rejected one or something like that. You can just notice like that. So you can find my task here. So one is in green bullet, so you can find, so it indicates that this task has been ready for the next task, that is for ongoing ongoing. So if it is ongoing, I'm just taking to the next stage. I can simply just drag and drop that one. So you can find the tasks in the next one. So here you have an option. In all tasks, you have an option to assign to a particular activity to particular user. So you have an option here like clock. Once you click on this icon, you can schedule a new activity. Click on the schedule new activity. Call the client, get clarification. Requirement. So here I am making it as a activity. So summary, I have given call the client and get the clarification on requirement. So you can just provide the due date for here, due date here. So based on it will be showing the due date. So in my case, so if it is in current date, due date is the current date, in the activity it will be showing as yellow color. If it is in previous day, due date is previous day. For example, it has been expired, that activity is not been completed by the user, then it will be in red color and the future one will be in green color. So we can just find it here itself. So I will schedule this one for, so right now this has been scheduled to tomorrow's date. So you can find the details here. So I am just clicking on schedule, so you can find it in green. So for task 2, I am just making it as scheduling not a meeting to do. So yesterday's date I am providing schedule, so you can find it in red color. So for task 3, I am just scheduling another call in today's date. So now you can find it in yellow color. So not is not exactly an yellow, so it's like orange color. Then if you want to edit any of these details in the task, so like you can just set a cover image. So you can upload and set a cover image, so it will be changing based on that one. Then we have a share button, then you have a edit, and if you want to just categorize based on any other colors, you can just provide that one. So I'm just giving a blue color here, so you can find the colors here. So it will be easy for you to understand. So it depends upon you how you need to use this options. This is additional features. So if you want to share this task with any of this your clients or someone else, you can just directly share with your clients or contacts. So whoever in your contacts, you can just share with them. So you need to provide their email ID in the contacts. So once it is complete, you can just send that mail. So they will be receiving it through email in their inbox. Once they receive, they can just click on that one and view that task. So right now I have created a new task and assigned to one of my colleagues. So here in my colleague's case, they can just enter the details in the task here. So once they go here, they can just click on the task and they can edit. They can provide any descriptions here, so what they have discussed with the client or anything like that. Then they have a timesheet, so they can just enter the details like planned hours and how many hours they have been worked on that one, etc. Then under extra information, you have the sequences, how the task should be listed. So this is right now I have activated the developer mode, so I will deactivate the developer mode right now. So under task, you can just find the details here, the activity which have been scheduled for this particular task. You can find the tasks here. So you can find the project names and assign to deadline. So you can set the deadlines here before giving to your colleagues. So you can also add need assistance or anything. So based on that, it will be showing in the, so this assistant, that is this tag will be showing in the Kanban view also. So you can find the details here. You can find need assistance. So whenever any of your other colleagues just logging in, they can just find that he needs some assistance on this task. So they can just help it on that one. So likewise, all the planned activities, you can just find it here. So if you have completed this activity, you can just mark as done from here, or from the Kanban view, you can just mark. So I have clicked on. Yeah, okay. So you can also from here, you can also just schedule and you can just complete that one. For example, I will show it from here. So if you have completed this particular task, you can just mark as done from here itself. So we have two options here, that is done and schedule next and done. So if you click on done, it will be marking it as completed one, but if you click on done and schedule next, it will be scheduling the next activity. So it will be opening a new activity schedule form. There you can just select another activity and assign to this particular task. And you can just find all the chatters below here. So what are the available, what are the communications and what are the changes you have made, you can just find it here. So you can find the new stages. So from new to ongoing, we have changed on 7 minutes ago, everything will be listed here. So all the records will be saved in the Odoo. Again, here you, if you want to send any messages to any of your client or your colleagues, you can just send message from directly from here. Or if you want any log notes, so you can just log a note here, that is for internal purpose. And you can also schedule activity from here, this window also. And we have an attachment option, which you can just attach documents from your system. So it can be a PNG, PDF or a doc, anything else. Then we have a followings, and you can just mark it as unfollow. So if you don't want to receive any notification for this particular project, if you are a user, you can just go here and unfollow this project, so notification will not be sent to you. And if you want to add any of your employee to this particular project, and you want to add them to this project, and they want to add a task for this one, they can just add follower. So once you select this add follower, it will be showing the followers here. So you can just add a followers as a client or your employees. So the next thing is timesheet. So actually the planned hour for this one is like 1 hour. So this is based on the hours, and the employees can just provide their work task details here. So what all the works they have done. Task 1 description, so called the client, clarified requirement. So how many hours it has been taken, so I just mentioning as 30 minutes. So now you can find 30 minutes. So in the progress you can just find the 50%, because I have provided a planned hours as a 1 hour, so 30 minutes has been completed. Then you can likewise you can just add one more. So here the case is, here you can find all the employees, so there is no restrictions that this employee should be a user. So you can just add any of the employees. So I'm just providing it as at 20 minutes. So you can find the total hours duration have been spent on this particular task under this particular project. Then you can find the hours spent and remaining hours, how many hours has been remaining for this particular. So it is based on the planned hour. Then under extra information you can just add the customer for this particular task. So you can just add a customer for a particular project or a task. So this you can just add one customer for a single task. Then we can just add Gantt chart start date and end date. So based on that it will be showing. So this field are not mandatory, but it will be useful for having a good report. So your report will be perfect, and you can just based on this you can just filter the reports from there. So I have added all the details, so just saving the details here. So I have added a task ongoing. So you can find the details. So 10 minutes is remaining hours, and you can find the due date of this particular thing, deadline of that particular task. I'm just changing the deadline to tomorrow, so it will be showing in yellow color. So once it is completed, so I'm just transferring it to testing. I'm just dragging and dropping to testing stage. So this task is right now in testing progress. So just editing that one, add testing, or checking, just providing us 10 minutes. Save, and it's completed. So now you can find the it is under the testing, so you can find the deadline is today, so it is showing us, and it is ready for the next stage. So likewise, you can just create your own task and you can just manage the task here. For example, I am just creating one more task, timesheet for that particular task. Edit, add a line, 1 hour. I have spent 1 hour. Now you can find only the hours spent, and the progress bar is not updating here as I haven't provided the planned hours here. And you can also find the red bullet here. So if it is ready for next stage, you can just change it to next stage, and if it is in progress, you can just select on in progress. So whenever an user gets logged in and see the view here, Kanban view. So what we call this view is the Kanban view. So we have multiple views, so we will be discussing it later. So they can just understand that this is in progress. This particular task is in progress. So when you come back to the project card, that is a project view, so you can find the 4 tasks here, then the timesheet. So if you click on the timesheet, it will be taking you to the particular timesheet. So you can just have the total hours spent by your employee or your colleagues for this particular project. So you can just find the details here. So, and you can also select, and for example, if you record at a timesheet of a particular employee who have worked in different projects, you can just filter it based on that one, or you can just group by employee based. So you can find Michelle admin, he have been worked in 8 tasks from this month, in this month, and you can find the dates here. So if you want to, based on the date, you can just use the date group or date filter, and you can find the description of that one, the task what they have done, and it belongs to which project. So in which project they have been worked, and if there is any task, the task will be noted here. If there is no task, it will not be showing here. And you can find the total hours they have spent. So right now you can find 10 hours have been spent total, and Michelle admin have been spent 9 hours and 40 minutes. So in my case, I just need an this should be more filters based on the project. I just want to know based on how many hours has been spent by this particular employee in a single project. So in that case, you can just use the group by project. So right now you can just find the project 1 which have been created right earlier, and we have a research and development. Under research and development project, the employee have been spent 8 hours, and under project 1 hour 40 minutes. So if you want to detail check on this one, or if you want to just edit anything, so you can just edit it from here itself, and you can just change. So by mistake the project has been in different project, it has been worked, or the timesheet belong to different project, you can just change it from here itself. Then if there is any task for that particular projects, you can just find it there and you can just assign it there itself. So I'm just refreshing this one. So employee project. So now you can find the details here. So this employee has been worked on which all the projects. So I'm just removing project 1. So now the Michelle admin has been worked on 3 projects, because I have changed one project from project 1 to office design. So you can find the 3 project and the total hours of that one. And if you wanted it based on any other filter, you can just, based on task, you can just add the task, what are the tasks they have completed. So based on that you can just filter, and if you want to add any other details, you can just add it from here. So if you want to, based on the partner, you can just select the partners, that is the client. So here we haven't set any partner, so it will not be showing. So it's, yeah, So in project 1, Azure Interior is a partner, so based on that one it will be showing. And in some cases you will be required based on the client, so in that case you can just group it based on the group, or you can just filter based on the partner. So it will be showing based on your what you have set in the timesheet. So you can just find the Azure Interior. We have worked for our company, have been worked for Azure Interior for 30 minutes, and in that Michelle admin and Peterson have been worked like 10 minutes and 20 minutes on that particular client. So there may be a different project for a single client. So in that case you can just also use the project. So if you have multiple projects for any of the clients or the partner, it will be showing based on that project. So here it is showing undefined, as we haven't set client details for this one. We haven't selected the client details, so it is showing like this. So this is a process to create a new project and creating a new task. So when you open a particular, so we'll see how to add an employee to a particular project. So if you haven't had an employee to a particular project, then for him it is not possible to mark as timesheet for that particular project. For that purpose, you need to go under configuration. You can find the projects here, click on the projects, select that particular projects, click on the edit option, and there you can find all the details such as name of the task, what should be the name of the task. So here it is a task. So in some cases, for example, if you are providing support, then it is like an instance. So in that case you can just change this as a instance or anything else what you're following in your company internally. Then we can just set the project manager, and this particular task is, so if it is a project, we can just set the client customer for that one. But in some cases we cannot not able to set the customer, so in that case we don't need to use the customer here. Then we have multiple options here, that is planning. If you require planning for this one, if you select on this one, the planning, it will be available in the planning. So I have just activated planning for the research and development here. Then you need a timesheet for this one. So there are some projects which we doesn't require any timesheet. So in that case you can just untick this option. Then we have a customer rating. So how the customer rating should be, so it should be rated when the stage change when we change the stages, or periodical rating, or no rating. So normally have provided no rating, because so if you required any rating, so you can select on this one based on your requirement. And rating visible publicly, so how the visibility of this rating should be, it should be visible publicly. If you select the periodic rating, it will be showing you the frequency of that rating. So how the rating should be sent to the client, that is daily, weekly, twice a month, or once a month, etc. And again you can just set the rating visibility public or. Then we have a time schedule. So normally the working time of this particular thing, so this may be an if it is like a support, in the case of support there will be an 24/7 support, maybe this will be having a 24/7. So in that case you can just change the time schedule, work time schedule. And if it is like 8 hours or 5 hours work, actually this work time is the schedule which we have in the HR. So you can just find the details here. So you can just set your work timing here, total hours per day, so based on your thing. So here we have an option to switch to 2 weeks calendar. So there are some cases, some companies will be having an alternative off on Saturday. So in that case you can just switch to to calendar. So right now I'm not switching that one. So you can just select the first half and second half session here. So here 8 to 12 and 1 to 5. So in between I have a 1 hour break. So in that case I have selected the morning section and afternoon section. So you can find the morning section and afternoon session. Based on that it will be calculating. So again I'm just activating my developer mode here. Then we have a visibility. So invited employees, that is only the invited employees will be getting the can enter the task under this particular project. Otherwise others employees who are not invited, they will not be able to enter any task for this particular project. And you can just give access to all employees or portal users and the employee. So portal users and employees means if you have selected any customer, they will also be getting here. So in my case I am just providing the invited employee. Then here you can find some smart buttons, that is documents. So if you have any document, requirement document or something like that, a client documents or anything, you can just attach it here. So once you have attached here, all related to this particular project, it will be listed here. So it will be easy for you to check out that one. So if you want to create new, you can just create it here itself. So you can just find the URL or file type. So you can just add the what are the particular details you require, you can just add it here. Likewise you can just find all the tasks which we have created for this particular projects. Then we can find the timesheet. So you can find all the timesheet of that particular projects here. Then planning. So I have activated planning for this one. Then you can just find the planning of that one. So here I have provided as week. So if it is month, it will be based on the thing. So if it is a week, you can just find the based on the week. So if you want to add any task, you can just schedule, you can just have a details here. So you can find the planning 8 AM to 2 PM. So you can find the details here. Then you can just add particular employee, their role, then tasks, etc. So allocated hours, how many allocated time, etc. You can just add it here. So once if you want to repeat this one, so it is an repeating recurring thing, then you can just select the repeat option. So once you select the repeat option, so you can find the weeks, how many, until or option. So you can just provide it should be a particular date, till this particular day, or it should be a forever. Then you can just provide a note, and you can also save this template. So this will be published and sent in your this. So this normally this will be mainly used in the case of appointment, online appointment, if you are using the website, and from there they can just make use of this one. So I have edited these projects here. So under action button you can find the archive, delete or duplicate, because archive is normally used, it is not possible to delete once you have entered the reference here, that is for task and timesheet for this particular project. So then the only option you have is to archive this one if you don't want to list this project in your dashboard, that is in this project view. The next thing we will see how to edit stages, for how to create separate stages for each project. So for that purpose, you need to activate the developer mode. Once you have activated the developer mode, you can find stages under the configuration menu. So once you go to this stages, you can find all the created stages here. So when you click on a particular stage and click on edit, you can find the projects here. So you can just add the projects whichever you require. So for all projects, this new stages will be available from now onwards, and you can also set the sequence. So this will be the first stage or second stage, etc., like that. Then you can just have the email template for this one, and you can just have a rating template, that is rating email template, and this stage should be folded in the Kanban view or not. And we have a bulletin edit option. So what it denotes, if it is in white color, what it denotes if it in red bullet, what it denotes if it is in green color. So you can change this content here. So based on your process, you can just change this. This is a free text, so whatever you have provided, it will be showing that one. So I have added new stage to this all projects. So to activate this option, you need the developer mode, otherwise it will not be shown. So now you cannot find the stages here because I have it deactivated from the developer mode. So to activate the developer mode, click on the settings. Under settings, you can just find activate the developer mode. Once you activate that one, you can just find the details here. Then we have a tags, so you can just create multiple tags from here. So based on your requirement, you can just create the task whatever you require here. Then we have activity types. So in our previous webinar, we have detailedly explained about the activities in CRM. So the same process is used here in the project and timesheet also. So you can refer our YouTube channel for that one. So meanwhile, if you have need any clarification, you can just check out our website. So you can check out our website. Under website, if you select the Odoo, you can find Odoo books here. So we have provided all the details there, and you can also find the videos and slides here. So you can find all the videos related to Odoo 13 and Odoo 12 related to all modules. So if you want, you can just have a look on that one. And you can also check out our blogs. So we have provided 750 plus blogs here. So based on your requirement, you can just select it is on Odoo 13 or project management, etc. So if you require the project management, anything, so you can just search based on that one. So you can find all the blogs related to this particular project app. So if you want it to be related to only Odoo 13, you can just select based on the tags here. So Odoo 13 and project management. So you can have all the details from here. And meanwhile, if you need any clarification on this one, you can just also send then we have the planning. So under planning, we can just plan based on the employees or based on the projects. So if it is based on the employees, you can just select based on the employee by employees. So based on the employee, it will be showing all the planning details here. So what are their plans? You have already scheduled their activity, start date and stop date, and the allocated time, etc. And if you want it is based on the project, you can just select by project. So you can find the projects here, so all the project details can be find it out here. So it will be based on the project. So right now the project has been undefined, so it's not showing. So if I take monthly, then we have under reporting task analysis. So you can find all the tasks which have been scheduled or assigned, etc. here based on the employees and the projects. So if you want it to be filtered by anything that like project wise, then you can just select the project wise. So by default it will be showing employee wise and the project wise. And if you want the same in the pivot view, you can just have the pivot of the same from the pivot view. Then we have a planning analysis. So under planning analysis, so how many hours have been allocated to each employee, you can just find it here. So effective time of that particular employees, allocated time, etc. So even this we have multiple views, that is graph view and chart view and list view. So if it is list view, you can find all this in the list here, and if it is a Gantt view, you can just find the Gantt view of that particular of all the employees here. Then we have a timesheet and planning analysis. So you can find the timesheet details here, number of hours has been spent and in which date. The same you can just take based on the like a pivot view also, you can find the total from here. Then you can find the customer rating under reporting. So what will the customer have been rated, you can just find the details from where they have done and all the details from here, and for which project they have rated, I mean timesheet or task they have rated, etc. So normally the rating will be for a task. Then under configuration we have a settings. So if you go to settings, you can just activate the task here, sorry, the subtask here. So here the thing is like for each task there will be a subtask. So if you are following the process for that one, you can just use the subtask here. Then you have a use rating on project, then forecasts. So if you rocket forecast, you can just select the, so if you don't want the timesheet, so you can just deactivate this all timesheet and subtask everything from here. Then we have the stages. So stages we have already prescribed. So you can just click on new stage, click edit. You can create a new stage for this for a particular project or a group of projects. So you can just select the what are the projects this stage should be active, and you can set the sequence here. So based on that it will be showing. So if this is the first stage, then you can just provide the sequence as 1, and if it's the second one, you can just provide a second, etc. So this will be based on the project. So for this particular project, this will be the first one. Then we have the email template. So normally what the email template you need for this one, so how the email template should be, and the rating template, what are the email template for rating, you can just select it from here. Then automatic Kanban status. So how the Kanban status should be, it should be automated or thing, because once you have selected this one based on the email received, it will be changed to the automatically. Then we have a folder in Kanban. So there are some stages like we don't want to list it out in the Kanban. In that case, you can just fold it in the Kanban view, so it will not be showing in the Kanban view. It will be minimized. Then we have the bulletins here. So we can just create the stage. That is, we already have 3 types of bullets here. That is white, red, and gray. So for what purpose it is used? So right now by default it is in progress and blocked and ready for the next stage. So if we want to change this one, we can just change it from here. Then we have projects. So the created projects, what we have created already from here, you can find it here. So if you want to create a new project, you can directly create from here, or you can just create from here, which we have discussed earlier. So click on the edit. So you can just create the new project name and the task name for that particular project. So there are some cases in some situation you will be having task name as incidents or something like that. So in that case, you can just make as per your requirement. Then you can just set the project manager for this one. So you will be the admin for this particular project. You can just assign the project to his colleague. Then the customer for that particular project. Then the visibility, how it should be visible. So it should be visible to all, or it should be visible to only invited employee, etc. So if you want to, if it is like an invited employee, then you need to follow that particular employee from here. You can just add a follower, use the add a follower option, and you can just select the Michelle admin or whoever the follower you require. Then you have the attachment option here. So you can just add the attachments to this particular project, which belongs to this particular project. And once you have attached, all the details will be available in the documents. And under this button, you can just find the task. So what are the tasks you have created for this particular project. So you can find all the tasks for that particular project and its stages, etc. from here. Then the timesheet. So the timesheet for that particular project. So you can find all the details here. So under this, you can just find out how many hours have been spent for this particular project based on the employees, based on the date, based on the task, etc. So whatever the things you required, you can just filter it from here or group it from here. Then we have the tags. So you can just find all the tags what you have created. You can just create a new tags from here, or you can just create a tags at the time of creating a project also. There is no issue on that one. Then we have an activity type. So you can find all the activities which we have already created. And if you want to create new activity, you can just create a new activity from here. You can select create. Activity, action to perform. So what the action to be performed for this particular. So you can just leave it as empty or none, or upload a document. So if you select upload a document, then it will be having an option to upload, and whenever you click on this particular activity, you will be having an option to upload a document. So I'm just creating an activity demo called demo. So none. Then you have an option for a default user. So whenever you set a default user here, whenever you assign this particular activity, this user will be selected in the activity view. So there you can just change the user from that, or you can just continue. Then we have a model. So normally this is a project module, so project app. So this is based on the task, so the model will be task. So if it is if you want this task to be redirect to the contacts or something else, you can just select this one, but the recommended is task. Then we have a default summary. What should be the default summary? And we can just provide the FA icon for this one. Font have some icon, you can just go to the font as some icon, and you can provide any of the icon code here, so it will be shown here. For example, I can just check on that one. So if you have any like FA-envelope, the envelope like email will be icon will be shown in the task whenever you scheduled an activity. It's not in the task, sorry, under the task, under the activity chatter, and below the chatter you can find that icon. So I can just show you that one from here. So you can find a meeting icon here. So this will be based on, so if I edit this one, so if it is an email, you can just find another. You can find the envelope here. So for this case, they have used the FA envelope thing. So activity type. So if you click on the email, you can find the FA envelope. So this is where you can find many icons from font asm. So you can just select it from here, mail. Mailbox. So I think I have taken the wrong one. So I think it is an paid version. So if there is anything free, you can just use that one. So I'm just taking this reply. FA reply. So activity, email, reply, save, tasks. You can find the icon have been changed. So likewise, you can just set the icon based on your need. Then you can find the decoration type here. So decoration type, you have two types, the alert and error. So alert means it will be showing the content in the chatter in red color, and in yellow, pale yellow color. And if it is an error, it will be showing in red color. So it is just showing this description in that background will be in red color or yellow color. So it is just to denote whether it is a critical issue or an alert one, etc. Then we have a schedule date. So 0 date. So 0 date will be corresponding to today's date. So it will be default date will be today's date. So you can just change that one. And you have an after previous activity or after validation, etc. So how this should be. Then we have a trigger next activity. So how the trigger next activity should be. Then default next activity. So once it is completed, when we click on the done and schedule next activity, what activity should be the next one? Then we have a recommended next activity. So if you select this recommended activity, it will be showing the next activity in the top tab. So we have already had a webinar in the CRM section, so you can find this in our YouTube channel, so which we have detailedly described about this activity types and how to configure this activity in the CRM. So the activity is same, the process is same in the CRM and in a project and in almost every app, but the models will be different. That's it. So these are the detailed things what we have in the project. So let's see what are the options available in timesheet. So timesheet, you can find the timesheet menu here. So the main menu what we have in the timesheet is the timesheet. So you will be having my timesheet. So this is my timesheet. That is a Michelle admin's timesheet. So what all the project he have worked, and the project task for that particular project, etc., can be on here. So whatever the time they have spent on each project, they can just find it out here. So if you click on that one, it will be listing you to the particular timesheet. Then we have all timesheets. So if it is a all timesheet, it will be based on the employees. So it will be listing out all the employees. Then to validate, so last week if there is anything to be validated, and this week is anything to be validated based on your team. So if you are a project manager, if you have set under a project manager in the project while creating the project, then you can just approve all the tasks which have been submitted to that particular projects. And we have a timesheet application here, so you can just use your own mobile to mark your timesheet. So this will be the view. So you can just select what the project you are working. So you can just select the project name, then which task you are working, and total hours you have spent. If not, you can just save it and you can just start that one. So the timer will be running, keep on running. So once it is completed, you can just stop this one and you can just enter the project time. So by default it will be taking the time, but right now I have run the timer only for a couple of seconds. It will not be showing. So it should be in minimum hours. So how many minutes we need, you can just set on that one. So regarding this, we will see in the configuration. So under configuration, we have option for that one. Then we have an reporting. So based on employee, based on project, we can just segregate the report from here. So if we record based on the employee, we can just select based on the employee. Or if you want based on the project, you can just select based on the project. And if it is by task, you can just select the task. So if you go to the configuration settings, you can find the details here. So if you need the ASM timesheet, that is you can just download it from Chrome Web Store. So once you have installed in Chrome, you can just mark your timesheet from here itself, from the Chrome window. So it is like an add-on. Then encoding unit, so we should be encoding based on the days or hours. So we have only these two options, days and hours. Then employee reminder, so how if they haven't entered any timesheet for a particular days, then we can just mention that thing. So you can just set based on the end or week, month wise, etc. Then we have a manager reminder, so how the manager should be reminder. Then we have a record time off, so there timesheet on validation. So if you record the validation, so you need to activate this one. So meanwhile, if you need any clarification in any of our modules apps, you can just connect us at odoo@cybrosys.com, or you can just refer our website. So we have 650 plus blogs here. So based on your required app, you can just search based on your requirement, and based on the Odoo version. So if it is Odoo 13, you can just search based on that one. So it will be listing all the Odoo 13's blocks. So you can just add multiple tags here, or else you can just go to our YouTube channel. So click on YouTube, Cybro products. So once you go there, you can just find playlist here. So under that we have a multiple playlist. So for all functional videos will be available under the Odoo functional videos. And if you record this project management, you can just go to Odoo 13 project management. You'll be having all the videos recorded here, and you can find almost every apps in the Odoo videos here. So likewise, if you are looking for a development tutorial, that also you can find it in the Odoo development tutorial. And for our future webinars and past webinars, you can just go to this Odoo webinar 2020. So the next module what we have is the planning. So planning is dependent of this timesheet and project. So here you can just find the calendar view. So you can just select the plans here. So you can find all the plans what you have today, etc. So you can find the details here. So what all the things you have to done, etc. here. So you can just edit it from here, or you can just create a new. Then we have a by employee, schedule based on employee, or schedule based on role, or schedule based on the project. So based on the project it will be showing. So right now it is showing undefined project because I haven't set any planning for any of the project. Then we have a reporting. So under reporting you will be having the planning all details. So you can select the planning details from here. Then we have the configuration. Under configuration we have the settings. So you can just select if the employee need to allow the unassign from a particular plan by themselves, etc. Then we have the roles. So you can just create the role and you can just give them a color. Then we have a shift template. So how their shift will be, like start hours and end hours of that particular role. So based on that, this planning will be working. Then we have an employee. So employee, as we have already discussed this in our previous webinar. So we'll give you just overview on this one. So you can just create an employee from here. So you can find all the record details. So here the only record detail that is mandatory detail is the employee name. So all other things are optional. But if it is provided, then you will be having, it will be easy for you to use the filters and groupings, etc. So you can find the local address, that is a work address, then responsible, what all the responsible person, what are the responsible person for this one, for this particular employee, that is a coach timesheet, then the time off. So we will be approving the leaves, we will be approving the timesheet, and we will be providing him the coaching. Then the schedules. So as time zone and working hours can be set here. Then under private information, you can provide the private information of the employees. Then under HR settings, you can find the HR related settings like timesheet cost per hour, then timesheet validation date, etc. So these are the major things what we have in the Odoo project and timesheet applications. So if you need any clarification on any of these things, you can just connect us at odoo@cybrosys.com, or you can just have a look at our blog if you need any further clarifications, or if you want our recordings, you can just subscribe our YouTube channel, so you'll be getting all the updates from our channels like functional videos, technical videos, etc. So if you want to any other details, you can just connect us at odoo@cybrosys.com. So thanks for attending today's session. Have a nice day.
If you are interested in knowing more about this or looking for any Odoo implementation or customization in your business, drop your request to info@cybrosys.com.